Hi, I'm Katrina Padron, the founder of the Lead Pilots, and I wanted to give you a quick demo and backstory of the Lead Pilots and then show you a behind the scenes to see if it's a good fit for you. But I started North Star HQ about 8 years ago. North Star HQ is a digital marketing agency. We handle everything from SEO to social media creation and management, um, advertising, Google ads, social ads, all of it. Our clients are 100% B2B, and the thing that they have in common is that they all want leads. They want demos booked on their sales team's calendars. They want to see those meetings coming in. And as marketers, we've always loved LinkedIn. The problem with LinkedIn is that it's manual and it's hard to scale. And even our clients, look at LinkedIn like, hey, my people are on there. These are the people I want to talk to. But because it has historically been manual and hard to scale, it takes a lot of time to do that. So, about a year, 18 months ago, we built out the Lead Pilots. Essentially, what the Lead Pilots does is leverage LinkedIn, very similar to email campaigns and drip campaigns, but over on LinkedIn so that it's targeted to the prospects that we see and find on LinkedIn for our clients. So I'm excited about it. Part of why I get excited about it is because we generally book about 1 to 2 meetings on our client's calendar per day. For most of our clients, that's one of their most successful marketing and sales efforts that they've ever done. So it's really great as a sustainable marketing effort for a lot of companies, particularly in the B2B space. So let me flip over and show you my screen. And I'm going to just walk through a basic demo of what the Lead Pilots looks like and does. But the first thing to know is Lead Pilots integrates with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The reason we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator is because, yes, we could use basic LinkedIn, but the problem is basic LinkedIn doesn't have the granular search capability that Sales Navigator does. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I think it costs $60 or $70 a month, but because we can get so targeted on our searching for your prospects, it's definitely worth it. Let's just go through a basic example of who we might be targeting. Maybe we're targeting a specific industry. I'm just going to make up one. We're going to do accounting for this example. We're going to look for people who are CEOs. We're going to look for people who are owners of the company. Great. And what I'm looking for up here, just as the search results are coming in, we usually like our campaigns to be between 1 and 2,000 prospects per campaign. And what that does is it gives us the ability to look through the prospects in that individual campaign and make sure that that is a person that you would be really excited to have a phone call or a demo conversation with. So we try and get that targeted down. I'm in Colorado. I'm just going to put the geography of Colorado, and I bet that probably gets us right to, oh, that gets us way more targeted than what we, or way more niche than what we want to be. I'll open that back up. We can refine by keywords. This is one of my favorite tools because it uses a Boolean search. So you can do and or not. So maybe we want accounting, but we want not coaching. See if that does refine us a little bit. So maybe not coaching or not coach, because for the sake of this example, maybe we want it to be people who are implementers rather than advisors. So let's say we have all of our parameters in here. You can see there's other ways to slice and dice this. A common way that we build out campaigns is based on relationship. So we may do a campaign geared toward your first degree connections with, hey, we're connected, but we haven't talked for a while. Let's reconnect around XYZ topic. We might do it toward second or third degree or group connections. But again, we can slice and dice it a million ways. LinkedIn does something really awesome and great that a lot of other platforms don't do. Most other platforms will tell you how many people are in in your search results. So in this case, about 4,500, but LinkedIn goes a step further and actually shows you who. And what I like about that is you can scroll through and check or uncheck these boxes based on if this person fits the parameters that would make it a meaningful conversation for you. So you can scroll through. It's super easy. They give you a lot of information just on this little screen to go off of as you're making that decision. But let's say we have this list perfect. Everyone who needs to be checked is checked. We're just going to go up here and copy the link, and then we'll take that over to our Lead Pilots dashboard. This is what it looks like. We can build a new campaign. And when we build a new campaign, we essentially get to paste in that exact link of the people that we just decided, these are the people I want to talk to. These are the people I want my sales team to have a demo conversation with. So we paste those people in, and it does take a few minutes to populate. So just for the sake of time, I'm not going to actually create this campaign. I'll just scoot over and show you a campaign that's already live. And here on the first tab, this is again where we would paste in that link to target those specific people. We would save that. Once they're in there, we can see their profiles. So we can see their name, email address, title, company, website, industry, the relationship, etc. And this is exportable by CSV. It's not pretty. It, is basically a spreadsheet. But what I like is it does give you a good indication of what's in your pipeline and who's doing what. You can even click on these little status, the eyeball, and it'll show you, for example, this Julie. She's viewed the profile, she's connected with us, she received message 1, and then message 2 is pending. And I'll jump over to more about what that means here in just 1 second. Our secret sauce really lies in this ability to connect with individuals at scale. So right now we have this set for this campaign at 100 individuals per day. That's how many people we're trying to connect with. We write a really personalized message. We want to make sure that there's some connection point or commonality, some reason that this person would want to connect with us. And then after they connect, they then get this series of sequence messages. The messages are so similar, and the flow is so similar to like an email drip campaign or a nurture campaign that so many of us are familiar with. But these messages can say whatever they want. Again, we're trying to find an entry point to build a relationship, right? So most of us in just our general day-to-day, we don't really like to be sold, and our, ears and eyes perk up when we feel like we're being sold. But if we frame this in a way that it's an entry point to collaboration or to building a relationship, or maybe there's a way I can help you, these messages start to have more and more success. So after this person connects with us, then in this example we're going to send this follow-up message 2 days later. And we have all these different messages in here that can be sent, but for this example we'll go with that. And then in this example 3 days later we're going to send message 2. Something like 90% of our messages have a Calendly link or a HubSpot link associated. And basically what this does is it eliminates some administrative back and forth in just getting that meeting scheduled. So we like that. And it's also our bridge to getting that prospect from LinkedIn over to your calendar to book a conversation. And the other thing that's really great about having a Calendly link or a HubSpot link or something similar is that once that person clicks the link and they put their information into Calendly, for example, they're now giving you permission to email them. And so through using Zapier, just a third-party tool, you can get that information into your CRM and then have a whole other drip campaign geared toward that person, maybe as a follow-up after the initial demo call. So that's a really great bridge and something that works out pretty well. But let's say we have our messaging set. This is what we want to say. This is how many days later we want these messages to go. We would then go in and save the module. From there, we have 2 dashboards. One is a campaign dashboard. A couple of highlights that I like to see on this dashboard are, one, you can just quickly see all of the campaigns that you have live and active right now. If any of the campaign gets complete, the status over here changes to inactive or paused, based on wherever it is in the campaign. But then you can also see the acceptance ratios. So this is important. Because this is showing you, of all of the people you invited to connect, this is how many people accepted. Now, I know a lot of people out there are like, well, I don't care how many people connect with me. That's a vanity metric. I just want to know how many meetings are booked. Yes, I agree with you to an extent, but without them accepting, then we can't get over to the messaging. So they need to accept. So that's very important. And then the other thing, just from a business growth standpoint, especially if you're in a space that has a longer buying cycle, um, these are people who are now connected with you. So for anything you post on LinkedIn, they're potentially seeing your testimonials, the events you go to, new content that you're writing, ebooks, white papers, just social posts in general. So you're staying top of mind with them, and over time building a relationship that then could lead into a meeting. You never know. The next column here, this response rate, this is super important because this is the number or percentage of people who are responding to those follow-up messages. Now, I just want to call out, because email has changed a lot, and cold email actually gets a less than 1% response rate. So when you look at these response rates, 17%, 11, and 9%, we're doing awesome compared to email. The other thing that lets you know is, hey, if we have one campaign, like maybe this 9% is a little bit low. I'd like to see it over 10%, so it's kind of close. But maybe there's something in here we want to change. Maybe we need to update our targeting parameters to refine our audience. Maybe we need to update our messaging. Maybe it's just not personal enough. So it gives you a quick look at what's going on from that standpoint. And then the main dashboard, it's kind of fun. It gives you an overview with a graph here of what's happening. And you can change the dates and customize the dates so you can look at this however you want. Usually when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at about the last month or so. I like to look at longer time periods to see how things are trending. And a lot of our campaigns usually last about a month. It kind of depends on the audience size and what happens. But if we look here at a month, we sent out 2,100 invitations. About 1,000 of them got accepted. So we're roughly a high 40s to maybe 50% accept ratio. Of these 900 people that accepted, they got about 1,600 sequence messages. So basically what this means is each of these people that accepted, they got 1.6 messages. So they either got one or they got two. It averages to 1.6. Of those 1,600 messages that went, almost 300 came back in replies, which is awesome. Some of the replies are yes, some of them are no, some of them are maybe later. And what we do on the back end, from our day-to-day management standpoint, is, one, we make sure the people who said yes are getting scheduled for a meeting. Two, we make sure the people that said maybe or maybe later get an appropriate response. So a lot of people will say, hey, I'm pretty swamped right now. Can you reach back out to me at the beginning of the next quarter? And we make a note to make sure they get a follow-up. And if they say no thanks, no worries. They just get removed from the campaign, so they're not getting, sequence message 2 or message 3. So that's fantastic. Global limits is really important to us, and it's also a differentiator between some competitors. There's competitors out there who essentially are browser-based extensions. LinkedIn does not allow browser-based extensions. And so what happens is your campaigns will continually get shut down. You have to spend a whole lot of time building and rebuilding these campaigns because LinkedIn is trying to block that. And although these browser-based extensions are super, super low cost, we have tried them before we actually built out the lead pilots. We tried 2 of them, and we spent so much time in the building and rebuilding of the campaign that we just never made any progress, and it was super frustrating. So buyer beware on that. As far as what you're looking at here on my screen, We can toggle these to whatever number we like. For this particular campaign, we're viewing about 30 profiles per day, and then we're sending about 100 sequence messages per day. And then we also can do, right here, we have 100 invites per day also. Now, these numbers can toggle wherever you want them, and that's fine up to these limits here, the 250, 150, 150, for example. And what we're trying to do here is stay within LinkedIn's fair use terms. They do tell us that they want to make sure that, even though we're using a tech tool to help automate and scale connections and conversations, they still want to make sure that we're not overly using it and appearing spammy, essentially. The other differentiator between us and some competitors or browser-based extensions out there is we're API-based. So we're essentially integrating right into LinkedIn's API, a portion that they have open and that they've agreed, yep, we're going to keep this open. And you as developers or other companies can go ahead and build something that integrates directly with that piece of the API. So we're all on the up and up in that regard. The other cool thing is we can change this number to whatever we want, but for this campaign, after 18 days, if someone doesn't accept our invitation, then that invitation automatically gets withdrawn. LinkedIn does have limits on how many invitations can be out there without being accepted before they don't let you send any more invitations. So what this does is it just automatically clears out periodically, so you always have enough invitations available to you to send. So those are a couple of really cool things that we do with LinkedIn and Lead Pilots. I'll flip over to our website real quick just to tell you a little bit more about how we work and pricing. So there's essentially two ways that you can work with us. They're both super straightforward and they have one major difference. So the solo flyer package is for individuals who want to use the Lead Pilots internally as a SaaS product. So essentially you get access to everything I just showed you. You find your prospects through LinkedIn, you upload the link, you write the messaging, build out the campaigns, you're monitoring replies, making sure meetings are getting booked on your calendar. And we give you 3 training videos. We teach you how to upload a campaign, what to pay attention to on the dashboard, and then we give you some insight and messaging templates as to what we found that's worked for our clients. This is really perfect for people who do have an internal marketing team, so someone in particular that can oversee this platform. Now, if you don't have someone internally who can do this, then we recommend the Copilot platform. Basically, that gives you access to the software, but it also gives you access to our team. So our team would be working with you to identify your audience, get your approval, write the messaging, get your approval, upload and optimize the campaigns. Our team is the one that's logging into your account daily to make sure everyone is getting appropriate replies and meetings are getting booked. And then we report back to you and we work with you if you have any sort of upcoming campaign that needs to be talked about. So if there's some sort of event happening or a new product or service launch, those are all things we'd want to work into our messaging. So it's pretty hands-off in that regard. So it kind of comes down to what does your internal capabilities look like? Beyond that, we've had great success with our clients, the people we partner with to run these campaigns. They've been very happy. One of these people that you're looking at on the screen was getting 8 meetings per day, which was really exciting. And then it got very full. So there's always opportunity to adjust, but the expectation is about 1 to 2 meetings per day. So I hope that gave you a lot of info in sort of a quick and easy to digest sort of framework. If you have more questions, you're welcome to email or give me a call. I'm happy to answer those. And then on the website, we do have case studies. So you can actually just click right here, and there's about 4 of them there. And then we have a knowledge center with all of our how-to videos. So if you do choose the solo flyer package, you can use the knowledge center to get those training videos. So I hope to talk to you soon, and I hope we can work together. Thank you.